Hello, you're welcome back to this video. So in the previous video, we were able to configure our EKS cluster. Okay, we have the configurations already defined, so in this video, let's go ahead to create or start calling the modules, right? We have EKS and we have VPC. So without calling our module, in fact, it's as good as not having the module. Okay, so we need to call the module so that the resources can be provisioned for us, and this is where we do it. We call it from the root directory. That is why we have this main, okay, to be in the root. Okay, if I close this out, you can see we have it in the root. So we need to start defining this. For us to call our module, first of all, let me add the variables that we are going to need. So the variables that I'm going to be adding here are not really different from what we have in this backend and module folder already. So it's just like you're combining, sorry, not backend, I mean in the modules we have variables.tfvars, okay, and in the VPC we have variables.tfvars. So I just basically combine the variables and I can paste it here. Okay, at this point there is no value for it because we are adding the values in the variables.tf file later. But let's go into calling this module. Before I call this module, I'll go back to the backend directory and click on main. I want to get my providers. I want to basically copy the resources I have here, including the provider, then go back here and paste it. So essentially, I just want to capture the Terraform block. I mean the provider. I don't want this block because we've already created our bucket. So we just need to have the providers defined and the block for the state locking and the backend. We just need to define it, right? So once that is defined, we now need to go ahead to calling our module. How do you call it? We first of all call the VPC module, right? So I'll just type module and open this first double quotes and type VPC, then open my brackets. Okay, now I need to type source equals to we are entering into this directory here to access the VPC. So I'm just defining the local path for it to access my VPC. So that is it. And okay, it's already displaying here, so I'll just select it. This is how to call the VPC module. So now let's go into defining the variables. I mean referencing the variables. So already in the variable, all these variable names, I'm just going to be getting them one after the other. So for the VPC side, I'll just copy the name, come back here and type VPC side, okay, equals, so for me to reference it, I'll just reference VPC side. So I'm just basically asking it to get the value of my VPC side. Okay, so just to save our time, I'll just add this okay, so yeah, that is it. So after referencing these variables we have, this is actually a proper way to call our VPC module. Then we do same for EKS. So I'll type EKS module and just type EKS here, right? Open brackets, and then I'll add the source. What is the source of our module for EKS? Just the same way, I'll select module EKS. Okay, that is it. It's actually very simple. Now we have to also define the variable just the way we got this. Just for us to go to our variable, start getting each of this name one after the other, right? And then saying equals to var dot that same name, just a way to reference it, right? And that is it. Okay. It will also be good to have region here. Okay, so region equals Let's see what we have in region. I believe I have region here. Okay, yes, I have region. So let's add region var dot region. Let's also add it here. Okay, great. And this is actually how to call your module, right? So I think there is a mistake here. Do we have region for VPC? Let's check if we define. Okay, there's no region variable. I'll just copy the one for the one we have here for. Let's add it here as well. Should actually be okay now, right? Okay, great. So yeah, so the next thing we want to have here is the terraform.tfvars. So we need to add the values we intend to assign to all the input variables we have. Okay, so I've defined all the values here just to save our time. How do you define the value? So to define the value of your input variable, you just need to type the name of the variable. So here, if the name of your variable for, say, VPC cider, you just need to, you need to type VPC cider equals to the value you want to give. You type public subnet cider equals to the value you want to give, just like that. Okay, it is actually very simple. VPC cider equals this. Okay, subnet cider equals this. You can see how we are listing. So remember, I mentioned we are creating three public subnets, 3 private subnets. Availability zone should be 3. Okay, EKS cluster name. This is my EKS name. For the cluster version, we are using 1.30. For the node group, this is what we have. Okay, so that's how to define your terraform.tfvars. And by using this, we've actually assigned values to our input variables. Now, I think what is left out here is the output.tf. What do we really want to have in the block? Copy it over. But at this point, this value will change. Okay, the value will definitely change. So what I want to have here is module, because remember, we are at the module level where we are calling our module, right? So you just need to type module.eks dot this name here. Okay, so you just need to copy the block name of your output. All right, so this is definitely how to define your value here. Okay, at the root level. And yes, I think we are good. And so at this point, I'm just going to go back to all we've done, and let's quickly review our file, just kind of quickly running through all we have, and that should be it. Going to EKS, we have main, and we define all the resources. We have output, we have our variables. Going to VPC module, we have our main configuration for the VPC and the components. And for the output, we've defined the output we want to see displayed. We have our variables. And then for the root level, we've called our modules, right? Now it has all the parts in it to create our resources, and we have our output.tf file. We have our values over here. Just go through the values once again. Okay, So for the values, feel free to, I'm using US East 1A, okay? And this is the range of subnet I want to have. US East 1A, 1B, 1C, okay? I think the values are just fine. So in the next video, we'll go ahead to validate our configuration and deploy our cluster. See you in the next one.